Hi, I'm Marna, and this is the Twin Flame Detox. So, I encountered a situation this week where I was put into a state of heightened anxiety. And that made me realize I really needed to do a video on how to meditate your way out of that state. Now, because of an abusive former relationship, I have been diagnosed with what is called complex PTSD. When that is triggered, I go into a state of heightened anxiety. My body starts producing more cortisol than normal, and the anxiety spiral goes from there. If you've ever experienced a panic attack, you're probably pretty familiar with what I'm talking about. The thing is, people tend to look at folks who are going through these states of heightened anxiety and say, don't let it get to you. I had a coworker say that to me the other day. Don't let it get to you. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Well, it's really, really hard to talk your body out of producing cortisol. And it's really, really hard to use logic to convince your endocrine system that no, you're really not in danger and you don't need to be in a fight or flight response. I mean, if this was something that could be logicked out of, we wouldn't have panic attacks, would we? So I had to, I was stuck at work. There was nowhere I was going. I had to find a way to stop the panic before it destroyed my day. And what I did was I meditated. It is very, very challenging to get into the calm frame of mind that most of us picture with meditation when one is in a heightened endocrine state. Our body chemicals are working against what our brain is trying to do. So how do you get through that? The first step is to remove yourself from the source of the anxiety, if at all possible. In my case, there was a customer who was angry at someone else, not me, but was standing and glaring in the direction of my desk, which was enough to make me feel threatened. The customer had earlier been ranting, yelling, going on about something inconsequential. But angry man directing very menacing looks in my general direction has in the past been a precursor to physical violence. And my body responded as if this was also a precursor to physical violence. That's what C-PTSD does to you. So I could not leave the situation. I could not crawl under my desk and hide. No matter how much I wanted to, it would have been rather unprofessional. I could turn my chair away from him so I wasn't seeing him, although I was still feeling the angry look on the back of my neck. I feel energy, and there was a lot of energy coming off of this individual. The next thing I did was take 3 very deep breaths, where you breathe in, hold it, and then slowly breathe out. Now, doing this immediately puts your brain in a more relaxed state. Doing it repeatedly relaxes you more and more. And as your brain starts registering this relaxed state, it begins sending the signals to your endocrine system that maybe you don't need to be producing quite so many fight or flight hormones. This starts to break the cycle, but it does take some time. And it's very important that you not re-enter the cycle after you started it. So, you breathe in, hold it, breathe out. This is the start of it. Then you find a focus point. This focus point could be something visible. It could be something tactile, something you touch. It could even be a smell. It is whatever you can make yourself focus on. So if you have a lit scented candle, you could focus on the scent of it. If you are sitting in front of a computer screen, you could maybe pull up a screen that is something that relaxes you. In this case, I sat there and pressed my fingers together. Not painfully, but definitely enough that I could feel the pressure of my fingers on each other. And I focused on that point of pressure, nothing else, to help block out the feeling of the energy from behind me. A very small thing, not noticeable to most people, but it made a huge difference. By breathing and focusing on that one tiny point, I was able to get my cortisol reaction to calm down. That is what made me avoid the panic attack, not my ever so helpful coworker saying, well, just don't worry about it. So that has been your brief introduction of how to pull yourself out of an anxiety spiral so that you can meditate. This is not the end-all be-all. This is getting you into a state where you can then shift your focus to a meditation that you know works for you to help further alter your state of consciousness until you're at the point where you want to be. So I hope my misadventure is something that is going to be giving the rest of you a little bit of direction. Thank you for joining me on the Twin Flame Detox.